There is one single upper body part that will make you look more jacked, and that is the forearm. On top of that, bigger forearms will also help you in your day-to-day life, and if that's not enough, women are also drawn to guys with big forearms. My name is FOREARMS Alex, founder and head coach of Arm Wrestling University, and in this video I'll give you the best exercises you can add to your training to grow bigger forearms. On top of that, I will also share some important tips that will help you get faster results from your training. Make sure you follow them because the tips are at least as important as the exercises themselves. Let's get straight into it, and the first area we will have to cover are the forearm flexors. In the arm wrestling world, when we talk about forearm flexors, we generally refer to two different elements: the wrist and the fingers. For the wrist, you can do dumbbell wrist curls. There are two big variations you can do when it comes to this exercise. You can do it with your arm flat on the bench or with your arm in a 45-degree angle. If you want to do this exercise to grow the forearms, make sure you go down full into the extension of the wrist. Perform the rep slow and with control, and give yourself time on every single repetition. For the fingers, you can do dumbbell finger rolls. These are really great, and you will get a crazy pump in your forearm every time you do them. It is a very simple exercise, and there is not much you can do wrong. Open up your fingers completely and curl the weight back up. Make sure you keep your wrist straight throughout the entire movement. A great alternative is to do this exercise at the gym pulley. Take a normal rolling handle that you find in your gym, adjust the pulley to a high position, and perform the exercise in the exact same way described a moment ago. Pro tip here, and it is very important to remember this: don't work with weights that you cannot control, especially if you do this exercise for the first time, because the handle can slip out of your hands and you will have a flying handle. Now let me give you a bonus exercise that is even better than these two, and that is wrist range curls at the pulley. And before you say, I don't have a wrist range, how can I do this one? I run a giveaway right now where you have the chance to win this handle. So stick around until the end of the video to find out more. This exercise will absolutely destroy your forearm. For those of you who don't know how the wrist range works, the wrist range will aggressively attack your wrist and fingers more than any other handle. And because of that, it is a great handle to build bigger forearms. As an arm wrestler, I train with this handle on the arm wrestling table, but you can just attach it to the normal gym pulley. Roll the handle up and start performing the regular wrist curls. You will be amazed how small the weights will be when you do this exercise for the first time. But at the same time, you will experience a pump in your forearm that you have never experienced before. Let's move on to the second category, which are the forearm extensors. You have to understand, it is not enough to train only your forearm flexors. You'll also have to train your forearm extensors. They are equally important. There is one simple and effective exercise that you can do for this category, and that is dumbbell wrist extensions. Here I recommend you to do with your forearm fixed on a bench. Same as before, make sure you go fully into the extension of the wrist and then back into the extension. Control the weight throughout the entire movement and give yourself time. If you want to train this exercise with both hands at the same time, you can use the forearm finisher from Golden Grip. Use my code ALEX to get 10% off. The link is down below. Now let's cover the third category, which is at least as important as the last two, and that is the brachioradialis muscle. For us arm wrestlers, this is one of the most important muscles, because it is the muscle that is responsible for a strong back pressure on the arm wrestling table. A great exercise that will target the brachioradialis muscle is Z-bar reverse curls. By far the most important thing you have to be careful with when you do this exercise is to do the reps clean and controlled. Make sure you don't swing the weight. A similar exercise would be the classic dumbbell hammer curls, where the same rules apply. More than that, if you do this one, you'll also train some grip strength, because you will have to squeeze the dumbbell in order to perform the hammer curls. That's exactly the reason why this is not such a great exercise for arm wrestling. But if you want to grow your forearms, this is one of the best exercises you can choose from. Now let me give you a general rule that you can follow when choosing the brachioradialis exercise you do, because there are so many great exercises out there. The rule is very simple. If you want to target the brachioradialis muscle properly, you will have to take a neutral grip or a pronated grip. As long as you follow this rule, there are many great exercises out there that you can do for the brachioradialis. Let's start with the tips, and the first one is to train your forearms as frequently as possible. If your only goal is to grow the forearms, you should train them as often as possible. The absolute minimum should be every other day, but if you have the time, you can even train your forearms every single day. Think about the blue cars that have incredible strong forearms. Some of them are tying rebar the whole day, every single day. The forearms are very similar to the calves because you are basically using them in your day-to-day life. It is not enough to train them once a week. The volume is too low and they will not grow. But the big difference between forearms and calves is that no matter how bad your genetics are, you can still grow your forearms. If you are watching this as an arm wrestler, you should follow a different strategy, because your priority should be strength and not size. Pro tip here, you can even train your forearms at the end of your normal training session. So after you train chest or shoulders, just include some of these exercises to your training. Tip number 2 is to work with a lot of time under tension. You have to understand the forearms consist of a lot of tendons, joints and ligaments. These structures get stronger and bigger with time under tension. Let me explain how you can implement this strategy to your training. Let's take the first exercise, dumbbell wrist curls. You want to do as many reps as possible. Don't take a big weight, take a small weight that you can control and aim for 20 to 25 reps per set. On every single repetition, give yourself time and perform it as slowly as possible. Don't do speed reps. That is not the right way to achieve time under tension. It is important to do this on every single exercise and you will see how much your forearms will grow. By the way, this rule applies to every tendon, joint and ligament in your body. These structures really like time under tension. So if you do any sort of activity where some of these structures are involved, this might be the right strategy for you to strengthen them. And the last tip on the list is to be patient. This might sound obvious, but you need to be consistent with your forearm training and with the exercises you do. Don't just do these exercises for 2 weeks and expect your forearms to grow 1 inch. That is not how it works. As everything else, it will take months until you see the first results. So let me give you a challenge. For the next 90 days, you will do these exercises and follow the exact tips I gave you. You should measure your forearm size right now and in 90 days again. Let's see how much your forearms will grow. You can also send me the before and after on my Instagram. The link is down below. This was a complete breakdown on how to train your forearms for size. If you're watching this as an arm wrestler, this is not the right strategy for you because you want to train for strength and not for size. And if that's the case, you find plenty of videos of my channel that show you how to train your wrist and fingers for arm wrestling. I will give away 2 different arm wrestling handles, the wrist wrench and the OptiWrench. All you have to do is to go down to the video description and enter it with the link presented. With that being said, keep your eyes on this channel. Great stuff is coming.